Welcome back to the Windy City Bears Network, where I'm your host, RC. Today, we're going to be going over offensive linemen and defensive linemen in this up and coming draft. Combine just wrapped up, so we're going to go over some of the results and some of the players. Obviously, the Bears need to focus on the offensive line and defensive line this offseason. We definitely need a defensive end, and we definitely need at least 3 starters on the offensive line. Hopefully we can get some of those in free agency, but it's a good class. It's not for centers. We definitely need to get our center in free agency. A couple of decent guys, but there's nobody, that you can say, oh, he'll be there and this guy, is a plug and play guy. I'm sure somebody will come out and have a good season at center for somebody, but there's not a lot of good prospects. Tackle, there's some good players. Kid from Kansas. Look, and the kid from Kansas was actually a 5-star recruit who was at Wisconsin and transferred to Kansas. And he's definitely probably a 3rd-round pick right now. You got the kid out of Missouri. He had a great combine. He ran well. He benched good. His stock is rising. Could he go 10? Possibly. Is he worth the 10th pick? Maybe. Banks had a good combine. Is he worth the 10th pick? Maybe. I just don't think we're going to go tackle in the 1st round. If Will Campbell was on the board, definitely, I think we would draft him and kick him inside. But there's so many good guards available in the 2nd round. I don't believe Booker's worth the 10th pick. He's a good player. Definitely not worth a top 10 pick, though. He's very good at everything, but not outstanding at anything. But good size, long arms, big hands, decent feet, decent mobility. Not the greatest, but decent. But you got the kid from Georgia, Tate, 6'6". He ran the best out of all the guards. Old country boy, he likes to hit people. You got a kid out of Arizona, Samoan kid, who played tackle in college, but they're going to kick him in. He has long arms. I want to say it's 34 inches. He ran well. He benched well, and he likes to hit people. Guards, it's a really good class for guards. We can get a starter easily in the 2nd round, where you don't have to pick somebody in the 1st round, and you can pick the best available player. And like I say, the tackle class, it's solid. You can probably get a good prospect in the 3rd round who can compete, and that's what I think that they're going to be looking for. Defensive tackles, Mason from Minnesota. If he slides to 10, which some people think he could, absolutely you pick him. He's worth the top 10 pick. He didn't measure well at the combine, which they knew he wasn't. And you would think, and I'm not calling him Aaron Donald, but you would think after Aaron Donald, you wouldn't worry about so much of the measurements at D tackle. If you put on the tape, this kid is disruptive. He's definitely going to help against the running game. He definitely can penetrate the pocket. But there's so many good D tackles. You got the kid from Oregon who had a really good combine himself. His stock is going up. And the kid from Ole Miss, who's big, he's 6'5", 6'6". I think he'll get a little bit more physical. I think he needs to be a little bit more physical, but he's a very good prospect. Whoever we pick at 10 just needs to be worth that pick and not a reach. Defensive ends, the kid from Tennessee who ran a 4.47, 6'5", 247 pounds. I think he only had 6.5 sacks his last year, but they moved him around. Very physical. Very not physical. He didn't bench at the combine. He ran well. He's very athletic. So, but if you put on his tape, he had a good bull rush. He has some good moves. He shows power on film. I would have liked him to bench just so you can kind of see what his strength, his upper body strength looks like. But um, he's, I think, borderline worth the top 10 pick. I wouldn't be upset if we picked him. The other guy, Stewart, out of Texas A&M, 6'5". He has the measurables of Myles Garrett. He's no Myles Garrett. I know he ran well, a 4.59. I know he jumped out the arena. He had a 40-inch vert, but he's a great athlete. He's a okay football player in my mind, Another guy who everybody was talking about, Davenport, years ago, who came out, and I think he went 17th to the New Orleans Saints, never lived up to anything. And to me, this guy is similar, and I'm not hoping he doesn't perform. I just don't see it on tape. I think he had 3 sacks this year. He looks always like a little bit slow. He almost makes a play on a lot of plays, but he's always a little short. So I want people who are going to make plays, especially in the top 10. So that kid definitely raised his stock. I don't think he's worth the top 10 pick, and I hope we don't draft him. But definitely a really good class of offensive and defensive linemen. We should do very well in this draft with the picks we have. First round pick still needs to be best available player, regardless of position, regardless if it's running back. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. There's only one superstar running back in this draft, and it's Ashton Gentry. There's some good backs. Another back, though, and we'll talk about backs on another day, but Caleb out of Iowa, he didn't run well. I want to say he ran a 4.57, which could be good news for the Bears, because that means he should be available in the second round for sure if we liked him. We also got Kyle Gordon, because he ran a poor 40 time. He would have been a first round pick, and he slid to the second round. I think Ryan Poles even made a joke about that, like thanks that he ran so poorly, else we wouldn't have the opportunity. And he's arguably, in my mind, I think he's the best nickel corner in the game. And I think he's due for an extension. I think he's going to get it soon. The new coaches are raving about his film. So there's a lot you can do with that kid. But there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen from now into the draft. A lot of the players are going to go up and down. So we'll see how that goes. We'll tune in again tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bear down.